Matt Burney is my name, and I'm the Managing Director of Bulls and Bears. We're something of a hybrid, I guess, between a PR firm and a financial news media outlet, and we publish small cap news mostly across the mainstream media, the West Australian business news, and on radio, 3AW, 2GB, 4BC and 6PR in Perth. So we're well ensconced in the small cap sector, and I'm delighted to say tonight we have three really interesting sort of small cap companies to present to you. It is the boom of the biotech. That's the theme for this evening, and we've got some fascinating companies to present to you. It's sort of an interesting point that Western Australia, or Perth in particular, is seen as a mining investor's town, but I often say to people that the investor profile between small cap exploration companies and small cap biotechs is a little similar in terms of the time to market and the time to get these things done. And so, there's an appetite in Western Australia and Perth for that small cap exploration sector, and I think that appetite clearly flows over into the biotech sector. And so it's great to have some really interesting companies with us here tonight. Can I start by recognising Jason Skinner and Nick, the two owners of JP Equity, who put these evenings on for you. And it's great to see that they're always very well attended, and it's good to see some of the faces in the crowd I know that aren't afraid to put their hand in their pocket tomorrow and punt some of these companies that we talk about tonight. So Nick and Jason, well done to you guys for continually putting these events on. Thank you. Yeah. If I could just recognise Kalis over there as well. Kalis have sponsored the evening. Fantastic. Everybody knows Kalis in this town. There is a door prize, which is a $1,200 pearl necklace and a magnificent pen, I'm told, which I haven't had a chance to have a look at, but please feel free to do that over there. Thank you to Kalis. Okay, so without too much further ado, I'll just invite Nick Brownbill to the podium, Director of JP Equity, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Matty. As we said, we run these events every quarter. We try and pick a theme in the market that's got a bit of topical about it, and we see the medtech, biotech sector in 2024 as being a really interesting sector that's going to get a lot of attention. Artificial intelligence in this sector is an emerging trend, and the three companies that are presenting tonight have various exposure to that theme as well. So, we've got three speakers tonight. We're lucky to be joined by TrivarX, Archie, who's flown down from the United States for this presentation and a week of promotion of the company, the first time they've actually gone out and promoted the company under the new banner and new name. We've got James across from Sydney for Audeara, and we've also got Orthocell, Paul Anderson, presenting as well. So, we're really grateful everyone here. Obviously, things are winding up heading into Christmas, so good to see the sun out. Enjoy the day. Make sure you get your business card, if you haven't already, into the bowl over there for the prize that will be awarded at the end of the night, which will be very exciting. But apart from that, kick back, relax, and any questions post the presentations, the presenters will be around having a beer and having a drink. So, enjoy the presentations, and we'll chat to you later on.
Okay, first speaker time. I think whoever wrote this bio swallowed a dictionary, unfortunately, so you may have to stick with me for a little while. But I would like to introduce our first speaker, who is Dr. Archie DeFillo, Chief Medical Officer of TrivarX Ltd. Archie has over 25 years of clinical experience with neurological diseases. His research interests include, and forgive me if I get some of these wrong, but cerebrovascular stroke, that's an easy one, neurotrauma, brain oxygenation, metabolism, and autonomic dysfunction. I've had a bit of that on Saturday night after our housewarming party. He was also a co-investor together with the famous Australian neurosurgeon Professor Dorsch in the Bayer-founded worldwide multi-centre nimodipine, or in the nimodipine trial. He also led the clinical researcher at the National Brain Aneurysm Centre, and he holds more than 50 publications. His time at TrivarX has been dedicated to advancing the knowledge between heart rate variability and autonomic modulation as it relates to mental health. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Archie DeFillo.
And thank you very much, everybody, good evening. And thank you for taking your time to listen to us here today. Let me give you a background about myself. I am a neurosurgeon. I used to be involved in performing surgery, complex surgery, cerebrovascular surgeries, and brain tumors, trauma. My accent is a little bit different than all of you is because I was born in the Caribbean. I moved to France. I live in Marseille, France, and then Provence. And from there, I went to South Africa, where I spent 15 years of my life. My family, my wife is South African. My kids are American. We immigrated to the United States in 2005, and since then, I've been involved in many research. And I need to a small correction. I have no 50 publications, but right now I have more than 70 publications. So that's my background. Why I came to this company. I believe that I was able to advance the technology, and I can advance the technology significantly. And the reason why is because I want you to take this picture and think about this. When CT scan and MRI came into the market, we were able to see the brain inside, the structure of the brain. We were able to see the components of the brain. However, the specialty was left behind was psychiatrists. Why? Because we know we can see your thoughts, your soul. We're not going to be able to see how a person thinks or what are you thinking and the way you're thinking. So psychiatry was left behind, and in a world of subjectivity. And that subjectivity still is present today. The way physicians make the diagnosis is basically by applying neuropsychometric tests. They're very subjective. They're very good, but they're very subjective. So we came with this idea of bringing biological markers. When you are depressed, it's not just your brain, it's your body. It's your brain telling your body, basically, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling sad, I have no interest. That's something you can measure with an image. But you can use physiological data to assess that feeling of sadness. So what we did is we start combining biological markers that come from EEG, electroencephalography. So we can measure many of brain waves, natural brain waves to us. That combine to your heart rate and heart rate variability. Then we start creating the map and the road to a new way to assess this biological response of the body to depression. So when you feel depressed, your brain is telling your heart, I'm worried. When you worry, what do? Your heart rate goes up. You're constantly agitated. You're in a kind of alert mode. So the next phase was how we can measure that response. Daytime is very difficult. Many confounding factors, noises, activity, you're thinking. Then we realized that the sleep is the window into mental health. And I want you to remember that. Sleep is the window into mental health. So through sleep, we can identify patterns that differentiate a person having depression from a person not having depression. So inside the technologies, there is a lot of measurements. And the gift is now putting all these things together based on using the background of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is allowing us to see things that human eye is not possible. So we are creating this technology, which is very beautiful. It's going to help clinicians to basically screen and use this technology as a diagnostic aid. I'm not claiming at this point in time to be full diagnostic. And the reason is because to be full diagnostic, and I mean, it's going to take hundreds of thousands of patients. But right now, we can be a screen and a diagnostic aid. So we immediately, after putting the technology together, we start the clinical trials. Our first trial basically was 319 patients. With that, at the end of that trial, we were able to test our algorithm for the first time. And the sensitivity at that point was, I'm going to show you, and I'm sorry I'm rushing, but I want you to look at this. This is very important. The sensitivity of our algorithm after our first trial was 71.7. So what does mean? We are able to identify 7 out of 10 people having the condition. Equally, the specificity, we are able to identify 7 out of 10 people who doesn't have the condition. What is that is important? Right now, in the United States, physician accuracy is just 46.9%. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt, 50%. All right. So you made the right diagnosis half of the time. So we already 20% above what is the pool average for clinicians. One of the problems with clinicians is that we have all these rules according to the way we make the diagnosis of depression that nobody can seem to remember. So that's a problem. So we need, instead of this subjectivity, we need to move into objectivity. So the other important point is our negative predictive values. What is that? It's basically of those people that are negative, how many of them have been diagnosed falsely negative? So we can identify 9 out of 10 patients. And that's extremely important because you don't want people with mental illnesses to fall through the crack. Why? Because if you delay treatment, if you delay recognizing the disease, then you're going to have more recurrence than remission. And that's what we see today. We see a lot of people come back to the provider with recurrent symptoms. You put me on medication, doesn't get better. You know, the other thing is if you don't treat the patient as a whole, and I mean you treat the disease and the sleep disturbances, the patient doesn't get better. So we provide at the end, our outcome is going to be telling the clinician that the patient has an active episode of depression, the source of that depression, and the severity of depressive symptoms, or the depressive symptoms. That's, in my, I want you to think about it. There is no other company out there who had this technology. Hopefully, we'll complete our study. I think, you know, first quarter of 2024, and then we'll move into the final validation. Commercialization of this product and opportunities are many. So right now, 80% of patients that go to sleep centers, they don't get screened at all in the United States. All right? So knowing that both diseases coexist each other is extremely important. The other problem is 80% of patients that go to a sleep center, they have obstructive sleep apnea. Of those patients, 60 to 70%, they have depression and they don't know about it. The problem is, if you don't recognize the depression, they become very poor compliance to the treatment of the obstructive sleep apnea. So another way we can improve, or we can commercialize this, is by increasing the severity of the case. It's not the same going to a sleep center and have been diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea, now being diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea and depression. So there are many potential business opportunity. I think this technology is going to change the world of psychiatry, and I'm looking forward for the future. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Archie DeFillo. I think we could have put that technology to the test by trialling it on me on Melbourne Cup night. I've got to tell you, Solcombe coming in second nearly killed me. Anyway, let's move on. So our second speaker is Dr. James Fielding, who's the Managing Director of Audeara Ltd. Dr. Fielding completed dual bachelor degrees in business management and biomedical science at the University of Queensland. After working in finance and public relations in New York, James commenced a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, earning a scholarship for the University of Queensland's Medical Leadership Program. He was appointed to the Audeara board on the 23rd of February 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. James Fielding from Audeara.
Hi everyone, my name is James and I am the founder and managing director of Audeara. We are a hearing health technology company that has its foundation in providing an incredible experience to help people suffering from hearing loss get the best possible outcome. The core of our proprietary technology is offering people the chance to perform a hearing check themselves and then using that technology to change the sound outcome from their headphones so it matches their unique hearing profile. We have two primary business streams that have been active in market for the last 5 years. The first are our own brand products, which are Audeara. And I'll be going and taking you through how we promote the Audeara products, and that is selling our own branded products through audiology clinics into the places where people with a hearing loss are looking for solutions. We've captured every clinic in Australia. We have global partnerships with 3 of the big 5 audiology groups, and that has led to an increase in our sales through the NDIS here in Australia. On the back of the success of selling our own products through the audiology industry, we have launched AUA Technology, which is our licensing and contract manufacturing stream, where we have just started developing products for large multinational third parties to bring their products to market in streams outside of the audiology industry. I think it's fundamental to understand that the boom of the biotech is based around the fact that we are in market, we are making revenue, we are heading towards profitability, and that has been increasing quarter on quarter, year on year, as we grow at home in Australia. When we listed and we did our IPO, we had 500 clinics, we were selling some units with 3 of the 7 players here. Since we listed, we've then gone through and progressively claimed every single audiology group in the country. That was our focus. Grow the amount of clinics stocking our products, grow the amount of revenue per clinic. The line keeps going up. The revenue grows, the cash receipts grow, and the profitability is just around the corner. What we've seen on the back of that is then the introduction of AUA technology, which has just started. And when we pile the new product offerings on top of our existing product offerings, that's when we really take off. So let's talk a little bit about Audeara. At the core of Audeara, what we were trying to do is give people with a hearing loss an incredible experience. There is a huge reluctance in the community and the community at large for people to take action about their hearing loss. Most people wait 7 to 10 years from being told they have a problem and being diagnosed with a hearing loss before they take any action. I saw that in my own grandfather. He was at university, age 85, hearing loss set in, he wouldn't engage, and the problem with that, despite feeling a bit embarrassed and despite feeling a bit off, is that hearing loss is the leading preventable cause of dementia. And what we're talking about is the impact of your entire cognitive function from suffering from a hearing loss. But getting into the hearing aid market is something that multi-billion-dollar companies put a lot of effort into doing, and where we found our gap in the market was focusing on entertainment. So where we put our energy is ensuring that we could provide a product for people to simply have a better entertainment experience. We were bringing music back, we were bringing movies back, we were bringing the TV experience back to couples. What we found is that 70% of people who walk into an audiology clinic rate listening to the television as one of their single greatest pain points. I'm very clever. I have a lot of degrees. I still do surgery every now and again. We had robotics engineers, we had quantitative analysis, we had all of our technological superiority. Our technology helps couples stop fighting when they watch TV. Sell a headphone, save a marriage. And the fun part is, it actually works. I took the phones last week, which is something I like to do every now and again, and the people that call, they just want the TV to work again so their husband stops yelling about what's going on in the volume, or the TV stops being so loud that the neighbours complain. And it is something that, from the laughs around here, I think we can all relate to. So what we did is we took our core technology, very clever, this idea that you can tailor the sound to everybody's individual need, and we developed a little TV widget. So now we have TV listening headphones. And we had a gateway drug for people to do something about their problem today and get on the journey towards actively fixing their hearing loss, come back later and get the hearing aid that we know everybody needs. And that made us good friends with the audiology clinics. The reason we like the audiology clinics is because they are the gatekeepers to the government funds. There are 3 government-funded programs in Australia that allow over 1 million people in this country to get our headphones 0 out of pocket. We have the Department of Veterans Affairs Rehabilitations Program, we have the Hearing Services Program, and we have the National Disability Insurance Scheme. The Hearing Services Program and the Department of Veterans Affairs, you have to visit a certified audiologist at an audiology clinic. So people can get our product for free if they go and see an audiologist, so we put our product in the audiology clinics. That has gone really well. The next part is seeing how we can use that technology and use that same gateway drug, entertainment-focused, get you on the journey style approach to start helping those audiology clinics make more money, stop turning people away, and convert more people into being hearing aid wearers. That's why the audiology clinics like us. In Australia, we have relationships with all of the global audiology companies. They have taken us to 3 continents, and we are just getting going with WSA, the Demont Group, and Amplifon. We have global agreements with the Amplifon Group, who is the single largest audiology retailer on the planet. They stock 1 headphone, and it's ours. We have that global deal. This morning, we announced that France just ticked over and started stocking the product. That's the 2nd largest single account on the planet, and we got it this morning, which we're pretty happy about, because it's going to lead to an enormous growth to address this problem of the 2 billion people who should be doing something and they aren't. So we are going to partner with the big 5 groups and have our product be the #1 non-hearing aid product sold globally, which we're very excited about. The next part is AUA Tech, the really sexy part. That's the part in the back pocket that we've just kicked off, which is actually going to take the world by storm. The leading audiology provider in Taiwan happened to go to med school with his wife. He's a lovely guy. He's launching into China. He gave us 2.8 million at a premium and asked us to develop him a product. We've been working very hard on that product, and a month ago, I showed it off to a number of the audiology providers in the largest audiology conference on the planet in Nuremberg, and they really liked it too. So when that product comes to market, it's going to be incredibly successful. On the back of our personalisation technology, we've partnered with one of the largest global music instrument companies on the planet, and we are building a product for them that they are paying us to build, and when it comes to market, we take a clip of the ticket onto high-volume consumer electronics. So when we listed, we had one product in a number of clinics in Australia. We're about to have 4 products in market on 4 continents across audiology, consumer electronics, and an audiology-built white-labelled product into the largest provider in the fastest-growing market on the planet. And the outcome of that is building the rainbow. So what you see here is a core of our business at the bottom, and when the top 2, which are AUA Tech and international sales, start to dwarf the Australian sales, we all do really well. Thanks very much. Get on board. I'll be here all night. Thank you.
Very good. Well done, James. That was really good. Okay, folks, so our next speaker is from a really interesting company, Orthocell. And I might just pause to say that 2 separate people tonight, both of whose opinion I value, said to me in 2 separate conversations prior to us getting the proceedings underway that this company, Orthocell, is on the verge of doing something really interesting. So let's see if that's true. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to welcome to you our final speaker. He is Paul Anderson, the Managing Director of Orthocell Ltd. He has over 20 years' experience in the medical device and cellular therapeutic fields with expertise in bridging the gap between research and clinical practice in the development of emerging medical technologies. Paul has a strong track record with his previous board position at Verigen Australia, a human cell therapies company, which of course lends itself very well to Orthocell. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Anderson.
Good evening or late afternoon, everybody, and thanks to JP Equity, to Jason and to Nick for the kind invite. Thanks to you for your let's get on to mine, for your attendance. Steve's is a place that's dear to my heart. Whilst I was at uni here, I spent every Wednesday for 4 years at this very bar and met my dear wife as well, so it's a place I feel reasonably comfortable. Let me forward disclaimer. Orthocell at a glance. We are a commercial stage medical device company, and we're at a revenue inflection point with funded right through to US approval for our products. We know through our clinical data and our extensive research internationally that we have best-in-class products for the regeneration of bone and the regeneration of human nerve tissue. We're unique. We manufacture these products ourselves right here in Western Australia, fiercely proud with a local to global approach. We're at a revenue inflection point in the company, and as you can see, 5.2 million revenue reported, up 188% from the previous year. These are large addressable markets of which we have fantastic products to fit into that with unmet clinical needs. We recently bought out our royalties from UWA in a great mutually beneficial scenario, which makes us a debt-free, royalty-free company with $22 million in the bank to enable us to really achieve what we want to achieve. Just the corporate snapshot. A little bit about our board. We've worked really hard to restructure our board in recent times, and it's been an absolute delight to have John van der Wielen join our board. He's the chairman of Crown Casinos. He's the ex-CEO of HBF, and really a global financial services heavyweight who's come back to Western Australia, so a delight. And we also just added Dr. Fiona Wood to our board. She doesn't need a lot of explanation, but she is a powerhouse in herself and a plastic reconstructive surgeon that fits our company absolutely fantastically. So what is it that differentiates our company is that we're able to manufacture products that are innovative, medical devices that facilitate the very highest quality surgical repair of bone, nerve and tendon tissue. This is pure collagen, it mimics human collagen and doesn't cause any reaction. So this is the Goldilocks zone for collagen medical devices. The devices that we've developed that are in market thus far, the first of the products that we have is called Striate Plus, and it's for the regeneration of human bone, and in particular we've concentrated on the bone in the maxillofacial area. We recently signed a global distribution, which I'll talk a little bit about in a moment. These are large markets again. We're approved in Europe, the UK and Australia, US of course, Australia, and expanding into Canada, Brazil and to Japan. The next product that's off the pipeline for our company, approved in Australia, reimbursed in Australia in the private healthcare system, is a product called Remplia. It's a really unique product and enables us now to join nerves together without the use of the damaging sutures. It's now reimbursed in this country, $1,500 is the reimbursement for the product in the private healthcare. And again, a really large addressable market of which there's an unmet clinical need that our product fits beautifully. A little bit about Striate Plus. One of the really exciting things about this is the data we generated and the surgeons that we got on board enabled us to do a deal with one of the top 5 dental companies in the world. 80% of the dental market is owned by the top 5. If you're not playing in with those guys, you're not playing at all. And so for them to pay us $21 million net of fees up front for the privilege to exclusively distribute this product is a fantastic validation of our company and our manufacturing process. As a result of that, the first 12 months have seen some fantastic growth and product revenue, and a 50% increase in our sales over last quarter last year and a 17% average growth rate. So we've been delighted with our partner and the way that they've introduced this product into the European and American markets. And really, in essence, the company that we've associated with have about a 20% market share in this area, and they're translating out their last product and bringing our product in, and that's going to result in about a $50 million recurring revenue per year for that product. Really excited about the product Remplia. This is revolutionising nerve repair, reducing the number of sutures or negating the number of sutures. In the 1860s, there was a publication about the first use of sutures. Joining 2 nerves together. I don't think you need to be Einstein to work out that plunging a red-hot needle into a delicate nerve tissue is not a good idea. And so we're still doing that today. So there has to be a better way. And this product, Remplia, is providing that better way. We know that there are some competitors in the market, but their products are, quite frankly, wholly not fit for purpose. Nice try, bad luck, inappropriate. Whereas Remplia, we've gone through a very, very solid preclinical animal work and now into the human model. And we know that this product has key characteristics that provide a barrier to the outside world. They integrate into the nerve tissue and provide elegant railway tracks for the axons to grow across. This product is a product that provides a barrier to the outside world and a beautiful environment for those nerves to heal themselves. We connect nerves, we protect against the outside world with nerves, and we cap nerves that have to be severed. So there's 3 indications for this product under the peripheral nerve banner. And surgeons are using this product in this country, in every major city, to connect, to protect and to cap nerves today. Our clinical studies have been compelling. Black means that you have a totally paralysed limb. In this study, where we stopped the use of sutures and we used our product to join the nerves together, at 12 months we saw a 17% success rate in the improvement of these limbs and an 85% success rate at 24 months, meaning that we're returning power and function to previously paralysed limbs. This is not something that is taken lightly, and we see now that we're able to produce more predictable, more consistent outcomes, which is very pleasing to the surgeons. So what is it, the type of patients that we're treating? This is Adrian. Adrian, when we first met him, was unable to operate his own wheelchair. He underwent what's called nerve transfer, where we're taking nerves from above the fracture site in his neck and replumbing them and rewiring them back into the muscles in his arm. He, almost 2 years to the day after that operation, he drove his own car down to our office. Alex, our COO, and myself walked out the front, and I said to him, "Hey mate, do you need a hand?" And he said, "Bugger off. I'm pretty good on my own." Deeply satisfying. And so I said to him, "What is it that makes this fantastic? Tell me about the essential elements in your life." And he said, I can now toilet myself. I can now transfer across from my chair to my bed. I can now drive my own car. But absolutely the biggest fundamental that he said was his mental health. His ability to hug his children and to hug his wife were profound. Not a dry eye in the house when I introduced him to our staff. So what does that mean? In the first year of our introduction, spectacular growth. In the first year of the introduction, spectacular take-up of our product. We now have over 90 surgeons using this product across Australia. And this has given us fantastic insights into how we're going to approach the US marketplace. And we know that these are large addressable markets, and this product is a niche product that has absolute relevance. So a 20% market share of this product is a $255 million in wholesale revenue to our company. I do like to say that, and I'm going to say it again, that's $255 million recurring revenue in this company. The market is dominated by sutures. Surgeons are reluctant to keep using sutures. They want change, and this product can provide them with that. There's over 700,000 of these peripheral nerves every year in the US. We know how to develop this product. We've just done it with BioHorizons. We've just sealed the deal in our bone product. We know that you need data. We know that you need brand ambassadors. You need to partner early and engage early, and you need to really access the high-value markets like the United States. So what is coming up for us from a catalyst perspective? US registration study results will be out in Q2 24. The product will be approved in Q1 25. Followed by UK and European registration. And we continue to develop our relationships in the United States with that. We do have some exciting pipeline products, which we won't talk about tonight, but happy to discuss afterwards. Take-home message, commercial stage medical device, revenue inflection as you've seen. Best-in-class products, there's no question about that. And that's not just because I feel that, that's because I've travelled the world to make sure that that's the case. Strengthened board, cash in the bank, near-term value drivers. I think this company is undervalued and is really heading somewhere. Thank you very much for your time.
Elegant railway tracks. Love it. I think you need to come and work for me, Paul. That's fabulous. Okay, look, ladies and gentlemen, that sort of brings the formal part of the evening